Let's celebrate this weekend with Athletes Unlimited at USA Lacrosse headquarters. Count on Sammy Jo Tracy to be creative. She turned back time for this highlight 2 days ago. As for Marie McCool, she favors a more straight line approach, no matter how bumpy the road gets. Goalies in a Saturday showdown with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN. Beating the summer heat. A fun challenge for everyone at USA Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland. Lacrosse lovers preparing for their second treat of the day as Team Katie Glynn puts on a show facing off with Team Kaylee Waters with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN. It is great to see you again. I'm Joe Beninati. 3 of this summer's 24 games have been played, and one thing for certain is sure, that the level of play continues to impress. These athletes are already in top form, and this is quickly becoming a showcase of can you top that? You know, when we pull the curtain back, we show you what overall Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse is about. It's 56 players in residence. Every Monday, drafted into different rosters of 14 by captains who earn their status through a fun-filled and complex scoring system that has everyone hopping on the weekends. It's a pleasure for me to be joined by Courtney Martinez-Connor, a 5-time national champion at Maryland. Court, there's a lot for the players to digest in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, in particular for the rookies. What makes it so tough for them in the first couple of games?
You know, well, first of all, the unique format, just like you mentioned, something that they're not used to doing. At the collegiate game, it's a little bit slower, shot clocks are longer, and then they have to get used to new teammates each and every week. So those can be challenging, but as the season progresses, I think they'll get more comfortable.
There were a number of first-time players who made a big impact back on Thursday night. Ali Mastriani was a maestro in the midfield for Team Glynn.
Ali Mastriani, she has the capability of always being one of the best, if not the best players on the field at all times. She's a two-way midfielder, so she is always involved in the play that's happening. She makes an impact with her athleticism, her speed. Ali can certainly make something out of nothing, but it's her ability to take over games, to score goals, start it with the winning of the draw, and then ultimately that nice little two-pointer capping it off.
Whole lot of upside potential for Ali Mastriani. Last summer, nobody set the table any better with respect to assists than Kenzie Kent. She led Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse in helpers, and a couple of nights ago, she started season 2 with a burst.
You know, when you are an assister by trade, oftentimes you have the ability to cause turnovers for the other team if your passes aren't on the mark. So Kenzie Kent already leading this season. She has a knack for following where that ball is at, off of the draw circle, as well as ground balls on the field. It's almost like she uses her hockey skills and being aware of when and where those balls are going to be. She has nice little wrist action when she's taking shots on goal, but her vision, I think, is one of the strongest points on the field as long as she can get that assist stick to stick.
Wait a minute, I just heard hockey. Did I hear Frozen 4? My ears perked up. You put them side by side and it all stacks up to show high productivity for the weekend ahead. These two in a variety of ways. Ali, that tall target that she presents. Kenzie with her ability to slither between defenders, find the open space. It's fun to watch them work. As we get set for the opening draw in this game 2 of 2 today. Team Apuzzo victorious earlier over Team Reed, the only unbeaten squad left. These two squads looking for their first win. The officials are Lynn Bowers, Patty Kletcher-Porter, Liz Brush, Erica Leslie, and Ronnie Anton. Team Glynn in the blue and going to goal quickly. Sammy Jo Tracy whistles one wide of Kaylee Waters.
Just like we had talked about, Ali Mastriani right at that very first draw control, making her presence known on the field, pushing the fast break.
Circle it up, 6-on-6 at this end of the field. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse has played 10-on-10. There is a 60-second shot clock. You'll see an 8-meter key. If you shoot and score with both feet behind that arc, you get 2 points for your team and 16 for your leaderboard totals. Rolling in, Mastriani feeds for Huff. Keep it on the outside to McComb. Shot clock's at 15. Offer to Huff again into the double. McComb outside the key, looking for a passing lane, none afforded. Good defense from Team Waters. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Feed it inside, that gets away. Long drive, Mcmahon whistles wide. This will be Team Waters' ball in goal.
Excellent defensive set for Team Waters. A little bit of a different style from what we saw in game one. They were playing a zone defense that's playing an area, not necessarily a particular person, making it hard for any of these outside shots to happen.
Ground ball worth 2 points for McPartland. She offers it ahead. That's intercepted. Cause turnover, take away Paula Wood. Those are huge on the leaderboard. You get 12 for a cause turnover. Closing in, snapshot, score! You get 12 for a goal if you're Jamie Ortega.
Jamie Ortega getting the first goal of the day today. We see as the ball was being moved upfield, Kayla Wood doing what she does best, reading the play, causing a turnover, getting it into the hands of ever-capable Jamie Ortega. We saw a lot of her scoring goals in the first scrimmage before that initial Athletes Unlimited draft, and she has already put that first marker up for Team Glynn. Signature split, she loves the left side. She's a natural lefty, oftentimes attacking that top foot of the defensive player. Hasn't done a lot, is actually negative in terms of overall points right now, but I do expect for that to change as the season progresses.
Her captain was fired up there on the celebration. Ortega getting Glynn on the board, 1-0 advantage. You referenced the scrimmage. She had a couple of goals back on Monday. When the lights were on for real back on Thursday, Ortega clicked for a goal and an assist. Draw circle, draw control for Marie McCool. McCool is another player thought by many to be a possible second season champion. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse was won last year by Taylor Cummings, and due to some personal scheduling conflicts coming off the World Championships, Taylor's not playing, nor is Kayla Traynor, for that matter, who finished 7th overall. McCool is a player who could very well be in the book of Unlimited in 4 weeks' time.
That's right. She's a complete player. Again, both ends of the field, you'll see her.
Kenzie Kent lets it fly from down under. Rejected there by Katie Glynn. 6 points for the goalie save. As the clear unfolds, it's Kelsey Huff. 32 in the blue. The officials stopping play 2.5 minutes into the contest. This is an offside green card. It'll be a player up situation. Erica Leslie presiding over the midfield area. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 2. Nice to have you on board this Saturday afternoon. Team Glynn in the blue, a player up. 30 seconds.
We see the defense shifting continuously. A different person is taking the player inside. Sammy Jo Tracy each and every time. That's who they're looking for.
Sidewinder bid that's answered by Waters, sent on the way by Huff. The goalie picks up 6 points for the save. The shooter, when she has a shot stopped, she loses a point on her leaderboard totals individually. Wakefield waltzing her way across the midline. Impressive defender with Kent. One more to Fortunato. High-scoring attacker, leaves it for Kenzie Kent. She's picked up by Izzy Mcmahon.
As the ball's moving around the perimeter for Team Waters, we see that they're looking at spaces, looking at matchups, seeing if there's any mismatches that they want to exploit, take advantage of.
Fortunato against Pelt and a bouncer. Another save for Katie Glynn. She made that one look easy as she outlets for Kristen Carr. Cookie putting on a burst at the midline. Kristen Carr, who looks up to fearless women, past soccer heroes come to mind for Cookie. She talks about Mia Hamm and Julie Foudy as inspirational players in the women's sports arena.
As we talked about Kenzie Kent being a dual sport collegiate athlete, that's one thing that Cookie said she regrets. She wishes she would have had the opportunity to play both soccer and lacrosse while at UNC. However, she did play semi-pro soccer once her collegiate career was done.
Majorana feeds McCone. Work it inside for Sammy Jo Tracy. She's hawked there defensively. Strong marking skills from Grace Griffin. Ball to the sideline. Sammy Jo going between the wickets there to free it up for McCone. Shot clock's at 6. McCone fires. Saved by Waters. Marie McCool. That familiar burst through midfield. McCool Split dodge, looking for a feeding lane. She'll chill out at the 8-meter key.
That's going to be a matchup that you're going to want to watch. McCool and Mastriani. If they find themselves on one another, it's going to be a battle throughout the entire game.
Kenzie Ken operating against Kayla Wood. At the left side of your screen, you can see the net minding work turned in. Watson going to goal from the sharp angle. Keeps it moving. Team Waters in goal, Team Glynn in blue. A battle of the goalkeepers. McCool, run to the ditch by Vanthoff. Shot clock's at 15. Sydney Watson, who played collegiately at UConn, going to the cage, she scores! Sydney Watson.
Sydney Watson, she was kept off of the scoreboard on Thursday night. However, she had a lot of draw controls this time, equalizing for Team Waters.
Very content walking to the sideline. She tells us, you know what, my story isn't finished. Watson with a snapshot to score. We're level at 1, just getting going on Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. A little bit more than halfway through the opening quarter. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, game 4 of 24 this summer. 1-1 for Waters and Glynn. On the promo list, we tell you about tomorrow's Premier Lacrosse League action. PLL battles between the Cannons and Archers at 2 Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, followed by Chrome and Water Dogs. Both of those games on ESPN2 and ESPN Plus. Coming from Rafferty Stadium in Fairfield, Connecticut. We'll be watching the Water Dogs' Michael Sowers go to work at attack. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse early on in this contest, Team Katie Glynn. Glynn was a captain 3 times last year. She knows what it's like to put a team together. Let's listen in to Katie as she explains her draft strategy.
The hardest part about being a captain at Athletes Unlimited is having to pick a team, because every single person here is awesome and every single person here is so talented. So I think that's definitely the hardest part. I wish I could draft everybody. I am a goalie, so I need someone to kind of help run the offense and, you know, be that leader in that way. So I definitely feel like I will be a little bit offensive-minded since I am more defensive-minded. I'm going to draft my team, like just people who are here to have fun and who love playing lacrosse and who are going to go hard, of course. You know, everyone's so talented and wants to win and compete, but also do that in a fun way and, like, enjoy what we're doing.
Court, if you follow my line of thinking, yeah, there aren't any coaches on the sideline, but there actually are a lot of coaches on the field, if you will, during their day jobs. So these players know how to work offensively, defensively, and coordinate. As far as the draft was concerned, midfielders were very popular in the top 10.
You know, they're pulling double duty. They have to play both ends of the field. So you want to make sure you are getting some of the best midfielders out there that you can, and some who are in great shape, especially those who are coming out of their collegiate season. And then when you look at the defensive side, Kayla Wood was stellar last year. She kind of surprised everyone, and Team Gold was winning nonstop, and that was when she was an initial captain.
Charlotte North, who was so effective back on Thursday with a 3-goal, 3-assist game, a couple of 2-pointers, was held to just 1 goal earlier today. Katie Glynn, as you can see, had a half a dozen stops, picked up 50 leaderboard points as she captained her side. Team Glynn falling to Team at Puzo 14-10. Tomorrow, the gals in the blue will be on the turf at 1 p.m. That game on ESPN Plus will be with you for a Glynn versus Reed matchup, another goalie clash. Team Waters is in goal. Kelly McPartland has possession of the ball. McPartland, who had 1 goal on opening night. Last year, Courtney, she was 10-5. It's so important to win quarters and win games in Athletes Unlimited. That's the way you really rocket up the leaderboard.
That's right. Your individual play matters, but the team play, that's why so many people who were concerned about whether or not this would be a very individualized style of lacrosse, not at all, because team matters in Athletes Unlimited.
McCool from the sharp angle missed the net, backed up on the sideline there by Griffin. On a shot in lacrosse, closest to the ball where and when it leaves the field, they earn the possession, so it stays in goal. Wicked drive over the top. Scotty Rose Growney.
Scotty Rose Growney, we talk about these rookies. She's yet another one wearing number 16 in gold for Team Waters. As the ball was being brought in from the sideline, oftentimes you can catch a defense just not quite ready, and that's what it looked like for Team Glynn. They thought they were going to slow things down, settle it a little bit, and Scotty Rose had her hands free. She had a lot of time, so that was a great opportunity as well as a take to look right on goal.
Amber McKenzie jumping for joy. Amber, one of the co-chairs of the Player Executive Committee. Athletes and all being leaders and decision makers in this sport. Scotty Rose Growney had a couple assists against Britt Reed a couple nights ago. They are checking as to see whether or not this was a 2-point marker. Courtney, you have to have both feet behind the arc to get credited for the 2 when the shot is delivered.
Right, this is going to be a quick look because it was pretty obvious that her feet were on that line.
Lynn Bowers has the ruling.
Yeah, the ruling on the field's overturned. It is still a goal, but it's only going to be a 1-point goal, not a 2-point goal, because her feet were over the line.
We appreciate it, Lynn. Thank you very much. So Growney and Watson back-to-back. It's 2-1 for Waters. Well inside the arc, well inside the key.
And again, we talk about the fast play of Athletes Unlimited. Things happen so quickly that oftentimes something can go overlooked. That's why these challenges are so very important, but you have to time them really well, and that was a good one by Team Glynn. This stopped Team Waters by going up by 2 points. It's just 1.
So Growney picks up 12 points for herself on the leaderboard. The Geico leaderboard, up to the minute, lots of folks who wear orange. Team Apuzzo's squad is 2-0 in the young season, and Amanda Johansson had a hat trick earlier today in a victorious effort over Team Britt Reed. Final 3:40 of the opening quarter in Game 2. We'll play 24 games total in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 2. We're at USA Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland. Joe Beninati and Courtney Martinez-Connor, happy to have you with us. Enjoying the best lacrosse players in the game. Kenzie Kent traded off there to Kayla Wood. From the wing, McCool jogs in. Good face dodge against Mastriani. Staying with her fellow Tar Heel alum. There are 56 players in Athletes Unlimited. A full quarter of them, 14 of them, are former Tar Heels. Ball down, scoop made by Pelton. Pelton's outlet pass is on the button, and back comes Team Glynn with Taylor Van Thoff. 20 points are on the line, Courtney, for whomever wins the individual quarters. Right now, those 20 would go to the team dressed in gold. All 14 players on the roster would get it.
You know, rightly slow, Team Glynn slowing it down a bit. They haven't had the ball on offense for quite some time.
Majorana on the feed. Ortega's pass inside. Sammy Joe tried to go behind the back there, and it was blocked with the whistles coming. We should mind you, no shooting space, no 3-second calls in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. There are cards, though, and this is a yellow card being assessed to Sammy Joe Tracy, so Team Waters will be a player up.
The card is being given due to a dangerous shot. The ball hit 1, 2, quite a few players on Team Waters, the team in gold. That was an excellent crash on their part, so what they look for is being able to hold possession and not take that shot. And
Sammy Joe just wanted time out of the sun. Temperatures well over 90 degrees here in Sparks, Maryland. Far beyond that, you'd imagine, on the turf. Player up for 40 seconds, a chance to take a potential 2-point, maybe 3-point lead for the team dressed in gold. That's Team Waters with McCool looking to Kent. They play a 2-person game outside the key. McCool, shadowed by Huff. Kent to operate, 20 seconds in the player up. Kenzie Kent, skip it, down low, and there's Glynn making the save on Griffin. Katie Glynn, so good, matching her goalie cross, stick for stick.
As you watch the save right here in your right-hand corner, right on her doorstep, Grace Griffin, but denial by team captain Glynn.
Katie Glynn was a closer last year. She liked to come off the bench and lead her team, help lead her team to victories. Starting today, backed up by Paulina DeFada. Kaylee Waters at the other end in goal for her side, backed up by Molly Wolf. Hallie Majorana had a hat trick on opening night 2 days ago. Ortega, who's tallied already today. Mastriani gets inside, bounces it off the post, rebound, fielded by Waters. Great athlete, gets to the end line. Now she's going behind the back there to start the clear. Fancy work from Kaylee Waters, sending McCool jetting back into a 5-on-3 fast break. McCool fires for two. Glynn made the save. 25 seconds left in the frame. The long pass bounces inside the key. Waters is there to take that. Kaylee's in a running mood. Slings this one. Kept alive by Kenzie Kent. Final dozen seconds of the quarter. Kent needing some relief. Finds it from McPartland. 5 seconds left. McCool rather going to the goal with McPartland looking on. It's over top of the cage.
And McCool want to pull.
Get your MCs right. Done with one. 20 points on the board for Team Waters. Everybody on the roster, all 14, gets 20. Those will carry from quarter to quarter. Low scoring so far today in game 2 of the doubleheader. Right off the draw, Marie McCool. Yeah, that's who she is. As Ortega has showed off her scoring ability. It's a 1-goal game after 10 minutes on ESPNU. They're cooling their heels after a pretty hot start. A 2-1 advantage for Team Waters just 10 minutes into the contest with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN. Folks, the X Games SoCal continuing tonight. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ESPN and the app. The world's best action sports athletes competing in the Monster Energy Skateboard Megapark, BMX Street, and Moto X Quarter Pipe High Air. Every event streaming live on ESPN Plus and available at X Games on YouTube. We are here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. Team Katie Glynn against Team Waters, 10 minutes into the books. Time for us to go into the game with Air National Guard and the captain, Katie Glynn.
All right, you named 9 and Grace Ripper named 11, but you know what? You're here at Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. We're going to give you a shirt anyway, just for participating, and thank you so much. And you
talk it out. Ball top left, we're man down. Center. Top left. Ready. Yeah, Kayla. Woo! Let's go. Here we go. Started with you. Let's go.
Katie Glynn and her mates with the sun beating down on them, temperatures approaching 100 degrees. Katie's favorite ice cream, Courtney, is cake batter ice cream. She has to wait a few more minutes, at least a few more quarters, to cool off with some cake batter ice cream. But all in all, pleased with how the matters have gone to this point. Fans, it's time to earn points for watching. If you're an Unlimited Club member, enter the code on the screen into your Athletes Unlimited app. You can earn points and move up the leaderboard. Get the app, download it today for free at your app store and get access to great Athletes Unlimited content and experiences all season long. Just a little bit shy of the bottom of the hour. Joe and Courtney with you from Sparks, Maryland. 3 cheers for all the men and women in our technical crew. Lots of heavy lifting from them throughout this week, helping us look and sound our best. Season 2 of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, quarter number 2 underway. Team Waters in gold has the lead by 1. Team Glynn has the ball. Ortega, who started the scoring, 39 in the blue, sends it back behind the cage for Hallie Majorana.
You know, I like the fact that Katie Glynn, being the captain of her team, she's trying something new today. As you mentioned, she normally likes to come off the bench. Sometimes you just need a spark right from the very start of the game.
Mastriani had a hat trick in her first pro game, playing catch with McCone. Big face dodge there to get around Griffin. Majorana looks to Huff. Bounce shot, score! Beautiful release from Kelsey Huff.
This goal all started from quick ball movement for Team Glynn. We had McCone down to Mastriani. That took a slide right there. Once you have a slide, you know that you have cuts coming on the tail end. Hallie Majorana, her eyes were up. She could see that the defense had shifted, and all she needed was a cutter, and she found that in Kelsey Huff.
What a great example. You know, we talk about Charlotte North's overwhelming velocity with her shots. It doesn't have to be 1,000 miles an hour. Huff with a well-placed bouncer, forcing Waters to turn and rake. 2-2 with that celebration. We go inside the draw circle. Huff, who had a goal against Team Apuzzo on Thursday night. Sam Apuzzo's squad was very effective earlier today. A 12-5 winner over Britt Reed. Off the draw. Whistle come from the officials, who are going to give Team Waters possession here. Grace Griffin working 6-on-6 at this end of the field. The 2 goals from goal line to goal line at 75 yards, 95 in total, 60 yards wide. The rosters are 14 and 14. And once we're done with tomorrow's play court, we'll have the top 4 players on the overall leaderboard. They'll be the new captains. We'll do a draft on Monday night that you can see on YouTube. Fortunato splits against Ali Palermo, rookie out of Northwestern. Small but fearless, right? Ball down. It comes up for Team Glynn. Palermo in a foot race with McCool. They scrap for it at the midline, and there's Palermo tiptoeing away. Great trail check, though, from McCool to strip. She gets the ball back for Team Waters.
Marie relentless in that run. Number 4 for Team Waters. She does such work on the field. It's not just about scoring goals. It's all those little plays as well, causing a turnover, which, by the way, you get credited with 12 points.
Just as much as you would score a goal. Fortunato looking to do so, hits the crossbar. A wicked drive that moves the goal frame off its pegs. Alex Ost-Holman hovering back behind the cage. The feed for Fortunato, thinking about the 2 outside the 8-meter key. Saw a bunch of those on opening night. This is Kenzie Kent. Shifting gears, loses her check, bounces one wide of Glynn. It'll stay Waters' ball.
The quick change of direction by Kenzie Kent. Very difficult for defender to stick with. She's so fast and shifty.
I'm telling you, I want to wear her cleats, as this one is rolled in from the outside. Scotty Rose Growney on the board.
Scotty Rose Growney giving Team Waters the lead by just 1. Scotty Rose coming off an amazing season at UNC, where she was a national champion, along with a bunch of other players on Athletes Unlimited. But we saw defensively, there was no contact being made. You want to make sure to get on the hands of your attacker to slow them down. When Scotty saw that nobody was stepping in her way, she took the lead, and rightly so.
Scotty Rose Growney with her 2nd on the day. This one, the 2-point variety, giving Team Waters the 4-2 advantage. This was awfully close. I would not be surprised for it to be challenged. You see the foot land on the circle as the ball was being released. That's the 8-meter key. Ost-Holman thought it was 2 all the way, but does that foot enter inside the key? Kenzie Kent thought it was 2 right away.
So it looks like when you watch the replay that her foot came down after the ball was out of her stick, which is fine. That's completely legal. So it should be a 2-point goal that stands. Again, very close, but it was out of her stick prior to the release of the shot.
Lynn Bowers is our challenge official. She's the one looking under the hood. Team Waters, for the moment, 2 better than Team Glynn. After Kelsey Huff tied things up at 2, Scotty Rose Growney drilling one from the outside. You can see what is available to challenge for the facilitators. Facilitators are the helpers, the advisors, the support staff on the sidelines. There are no coaches, no assistants, no head coaches in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. We get a couple of challenges per game. This is the question as to whether or not this stands as a 2-point marker. Scotty Rose Growney, 56 goals in 2022 with the North Carolina Tar Heels. The championship game-winning goal against BC that earned the Heels the national championship. Not very far from where we are right now. They were victorious at celebrated Homewood Field on the campus of Johns Hopkins University. Lynn Bowers is ready to make her decision.
The ruling on the field stands. It is a 2-goal, 2 points for the goal. What we were looking for was a dangerous foul through afterwards, but it came through, it hit the opponent's stick, so we're good to go.
Lynn, thank you for the clarification. We do appreciate it. So the 2-point goal was never in doubt. The question was the dangerous follow-through. And Courtney, we see that from time to time. We know the players are wearing goggles. They're not wearing helmets. So everything from a safety standpoint is with regard to, hey, let's make sure we're not close to the head on checks or on dangerous follow-throughs.
That's right, especially with no shooting space or 3-second calls. You want to make sure to be incredibly safe on the field. So right there we see Scotty Rose Growney, the stick following through into the defender's stick towards her body as well. The goal stands, though. It did not follow through in a dangerous manner. Again, defense is entitled to their positioning, but it's all about safety. And again, that was not deemed a concern in the goal by Scotty Rose Growney.
Scotty Rose Growney had 10 different 3+ hat tricks this season for the North Carolina Tar Heels in her amateur days. She has 3 points on the board for her squad this afternoon. A 4-2 advantage for Team Waters. Inside the draw circle, ball bounced free. The draw control coming up for Cookie Carr with help from McCone. Team Glynn in blue, Team Waters in gold. Taylor Van Thoff, a season ago, her sister Taryn played as well in Athletes Unlimited. Slowing the tempo, 6-on-6. Huff will move it on around. Ortega is next. McCone against Wakefield. Huff, who scored in the second quarter earlier. Ortega fenced in there by the defensive work of Sarah Cooper, 54 in gold, who played collegiately at Syracuse. Switch the point of attack, 8 seconds to shoot. Huff from the bad angle. That's off the outside, and the ricochet off the fresh 60-second shot clock for Sammy Jo Tracy.
So now Team Glynn, they can take their time a bit. They have a reset, no need to rush.
Huff will circle it. Ortega looking for a seam, looking for a window, a passing lane. She'll choose the bounce pass to Van Thoff. Inside Ortega, she scores.
Izzy Mcmahon finding Jamie Ortega. This is Jamie's second goal of the day. Good things happen when you move the ball quickly. You tire out the defense. Again, Team Waters, they're playing a zone defense. The more you get them shifting, the easier it is to get these passes off inside, but you need to have cutters. And Jamie Ortega capitalizing right there. Nice cut to the inside, good handle, shooting through those defensive sticks that are essentially in her path.
When we get to the draft on Monday, the captains choose 4 attackers, 4 midfielders, 4 defenders, and 2 goalies. They say of Jamie Ortega, Courtney, when you talk with the scouts and coaches who watch her a lot, that she's positionless. You can move her around. It doesn't matter from where she attacks so well.
That's right. She's a natural lefty, but she can play the left or right side behind the goal. She can play low on those elbows high or a top dodger, and as we just saw, an inside tight player. Very versatile. So absolutely, when teams are selecting, you want to put the best players together who complement each other.
Doesn't hurt to be versatile like that. Sydney Watson going to goal. Watson gets underneath. Check there. Caused turnover made by Kelsey Huff. She'll get 12 points for herself on the leaderboard. Sammy Jo Tracy from defense to offense. Sammy Jo weaving in, fires. Oh, my goodness. That hit a defender up high. That struck Ella Simpkins as she removes the goggles. Sammy Jo Tracy firing a ball from just the 8-meter key and striking Simpkins. This is going to be the second yellow card on the day for Sammy Jo. If Sammy Jo were to get a third yellow, Courtney, that would be a red and a disqualification.
That's right. As we see the ball hit the goggles square, that's why we wear the goggles. And Simpkins right here, despite the fact that the ball may not have hit her directly in the head, which we hope not, that the goggles may have taken a lot of the impact, it still kind of rocks you a little bit.
Ella was top 5 last year and caused turnovers defensively. Outstanding rear guard for Kaylee Waters' side. Sammy Jo Tracy explaining matters on the sideline. She is boxed in for a minute with a yellow card. Player up now for Team Waters in gold as we near the midway mark of the second quarter, and Simpkins is still shaking off the after effects. Ella, though, with a big smile on her face, she's okay. Saw Hallie Majorana sneak behind her and give her a little grief. And off we go with the resumption of play in the second quarter. 20 points on the line for the team that wins the individual quarter. Right now, that would be Team Glynn, outscoring Team Waters 2-1.
Love the fact that in season 2, Ella Simpkins had talked about she wants to prove that even after being a year off the collegiate field, she played at Syracuse, that she is still just as ready. She's a college coach, just as you had mentioned. There's a lot of them on the field.
Definitely.
An assistant coach at Army.
I should update you. The second goal from Scotty Rose Groundy was a 2, so the quarter score is 2-2 until Ost-Holman bangs one home. Alex Ost-Holman makes it 5-3.
You know, when your team is a player up, you have just a better opportunity to score, better chances, better looks with that extra attacker on the field. Quick ball movement proves fruitful for the team in gold.
Alex Ost-Holman putting Team Waters on top by 2. Get you back right after this. Alex Ost-Holman, their center screen to the left now, 34 in goal, just gave Team Waters the 5-3 advantage, and she's giving a lot of marching orders under the tent on the sideline. 4:25 left in this opening half. Folks, tonight, Manchester City's 2-game preseason U.S. tour, finishing up with a soccer match against the German football power Bayern Munich. They're playing at Lambeau Field, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific on ESPN and the app. The Sky Blues of Manchester City. They've won 4 of the last 5, and they look an awful lot like Katie Glynn's side, dressed in the blue today with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Bottoms up. Everybody in those huddles should be having one on me and Courtney. It's been a hot day. Temperatures nearly 100 degrees on the field. So we have 4 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the opening half. If you're just tuning in, it was a 2-1 lead for Team Waters after 10 minutes. Watson and Growney were on the board. Ortega had the lone strike for Team Glynn. In the second quarter, 3 points for Waters, 2 for Glynn. We're 5-3 as a result. And in the overall individual leaderboard, a lot of folks from Sam Apuzzo's squad. Team Apuzzo dressed in orange. You see all the orange from 1 through 14.
You know, they are at the top. They've already obviously completed 2 games. They are 2-0 thus far. They'll have 1 more game together. But you manage to stay at the top if you have overall wins, quarter-to-quarter wins, and then individually you can boost yourself based upon your individual stats. Not a surprise as you look. The blue and gold, they are towards the bottom because they are still in the middle of their second game.
Teams are breaking the huddles. That means Katie Glynn is marching her way back to her goal circle. Katie, if you have your ears on, what have you seen so far developing in front of you now some 15 minutes into the game? We'll see if we can fix that for Katie before too long. She gets back to her cage. We're back to resume the second quarter of play. Remember, 20 points for the team that wins the individual frame. And right now, Team Waters in gold has a 3-2 points advantage in the second quarter. You get 20 points for quarter wins. Your team gets 45 when you win the game after the total of 40 minutes. Then the MVP voting takes place. It's fun to watch the totals add up. We'll crown one champion in the middle of August. Draw control for Waters, and it's Kayla Wood coming up with it, but there's a whistle right off the draw, and possession being awarded to Team Waters.
Looks like there was offsetting fouls. However, the ball's going to Team Waters. They had first possession.
Scotty Rose Growney has it outside the 8-meter key. She has a couple of goals today. Alex Ost-Holman, the last player on the board, giving Team Waters the 2-point cushion. They go through the weave for Kenzie Kent. Fortunato keeps it hot quickly to McCool. Been marked all day by Kayla Wood. Kent feeds. Cookie Carr there to defend. Puts the ball down on the deck. Kenzie Kent with her quickness. Protecting, using her body to use that to pick up that ground ball. Grace Griffin likewise with 15 seconds to shoot. Get it inside to Kenzie Kent. Maneuvers around the circle. McCool off the face dodge. Wood right there with her. Bouncer goes wide of the goal. Backed up by Kent. Fed inside. The quick stick goes wide from Griffin.
Excellent job of that inside check by Ali Mastriani, essentially saving quality shot on goal.
As Team Glynn looks to clear, it's a turnover. Team Waters takes possession, and one of their top midfielders, Sydney Watson, is joining us for a chair chat. Sydney, what's it like? You're a pro. What's it like to be in Athletes Unlimited in Season 1 for you?
Oh, it's actually absolutely amazing playing with all of these amazing, amazing players. Something I'm very excited to do this season, and I love the start that Team Waters is having. We're working really well together, communicating through every single play and doing everything we can to win each quarter.
Sydney, from your game last night to your game today, what was the big message that you guys had for one another as a team?
Take it, let's go. Possession by possession, starts with a draw, win it there, and do what we know we can do on attack, just like this, getting the turnover and coming back and scoring.
Hey, you're allowed to roar, too, when your team scores. I know you caught yourself there, but that's okay. That's all right. Hey, you know, everybody tells me that you're an outstanding two-way player, that you take so much pride in your defense. I have a feeling that when people think about Athletes Unlimited and pro lacrosse, they think offense, offense, offense. Right. Why do you take so much pride on D?
Because defense wins games. It's all about the communication on defense, starting with the defensive play, goalie play, getting the transition through to the attacker so they can do what they know they can do. I think it starts with D at all times, whether it's energy, whether it's cause turnovers, no matter what, the defense can lead the team and getting the points that we need.
Sydney, do you think players like yourself who just finished their collegiate careers have a big advantage coming into Athletes Unlimited since you were just fresh off the field?
I think yes and no, because a lot of these players are used to playing with each other, have played before. I mean, me coming from UConn, I haven't been able to step on the field with a lot of these players. So, I mean, having just come off of a season, sure, we may be in like game shape or whatever, but these players also do exactly what they need to do in the off season to come back and be ready to play when the season starts.
Sydney, thanks so much for your insight. Get out there and let your voice be heard. Don't worry about that. Just scream out when you like.
Thank you so much.
You got it. 6-3 Waters doubling up Team Glynn. Less than 2 minutes to go in the opening half. It's Marie McCool drawing a double team, switching to Scotty Rose Growney off the split dodge. Ost-Holman. Nice catch, Fortunato. Better save by Katie Glynn. Every goalie save earns 6 points for the netminders. Timeout called. Team Katie Glynn asking for the timeout. In this second quarter alone, the scoreboard reads 3-2 in favor of Waters. The 2-point goal from Scotty Rose Growney may prove to be very, very helpful for everybody in gold getting the potential 20 points. Kaylee Waters, outstanding netminder in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. She was brilliant for Team USA in the World Championships. She's a captain again, and all of these captains have their strategies when going to the draft table.
I'm looking for balance, more so in like the passion and care that they have for the game. It comes quick, these weeks, and you know, building team chemistry, but like having people who can easily mold and mesh and play for each other, and also have fun, you know, always keeping their head up and not getting down about the mistakes, because those will happen. So with just good energy as well, and who love lacrosse and being out there.
Courtney, let's extend off of one of those last thoughts from Kaylee Waters. You know, she says, don't sweat the small stuff. Do celebrate the little things. She's not worried about mistakes out there. She wants to have fun. She wants her team to be creative.
That's right, and she's an inspiration herself. She can get the players going if they are ever feeling down. She was a volunteer assistant at UNC this past year, her alma mater, and when things weren't going well for them during National Championship weekend, weather delay helped a little bit, but it was her inspiring words that really turned things around. And her being a captain, she has that same thing here at Athletes Unlimited.
Pretty amazing last, well, what, 2 months, right, for the national champions, then joining forces with Marie McCool, winning a gold in the World Championships, Kaylee Waters, and now a chance to do something special on the platform with Athletes Unlimited. 1 minute and 26 seconds away from the halftime break are we at USA Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland. Typical of the temperatures of late. In the mid-90s, humidity is high. The players playing 3 games in 4 days. Our league began on Thursday night. These two teams will be part of the effort again tomorrow afternoon. Team Waters in gold gets Team Apuzzo at 3:30. That's a game you can see on ESPN+. Team Glynn against Team Reed. That'll start the double dip tomorrow at 1. Mastriani thinking about the 2. Rings it off the crossbar. A laser beam from Ali Mastriani. Big rebound belongs to Izzy Mcmahon, one of 5 sisters who all play lacrosse. Huff keeps it moving. Final 35 ticks in the half. Majorana to McMahon. Back to Hallie. Ortega trying to sneak. The feed inside gets away from Mastriani. 24 seconds left in the quarter. Coming up on the scoop, it's McPartland. Shot clock turned off. Team Waters is going to win the second quarter. Everybody on their roster is going to pick up 20 points by virtue of a 3-2 score in this frame, at least. McCool going against Mastriani, lets it fly. That's off the post. Rebound fed to McPartland as the buzzer sounds, ending 20 minutes. Team Waters with a quarter victory. 6-3 at the half. What matters most as the leaderboard points continue to climb. Great connections around the cage, quick sticks, hard shots, so tough for the netminders. We're at the half with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN. Having fun with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, and these players are battling to enter the book of Unlimited. Almost 25 pounds, nearly 500 pages. It's how we record the champions who play so well throughout the Athletes Unlimited variety of sports. This is Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse in Season 2. After 20 minutes with Team Waters in front 6-3 in front of the appreciative lacrosse faithful. We took a poll of the players asking them about their favorites for who might win this season, beginning with Nicole Levy as she answers the hard question.
Who do I think is going to win? That's definitely a tough one. There's so much talent out here.
Ooh, I don't know.
Talk to me in about 3.5, 4 weeks.
We've seen on the captain's list and the leaderboards that doesn't matter what position you're in, anyone can be up there.
There's so many goalies last year in the top, and there's a lot of good goalies that coming back, so I'm not sure.
I think I'm supposed to say me, but there's a lot of great players out here.
I think I see Sam Apuzzo as the champion.
My bet's on Sam.
Sam Apuzzo.
She does all of the little things well.
She finished top 3 last year after not winning until week 3.
I think Sam is just, unbelievably talented.
Charlotte, it's hard not to say Charlotte North.
Front runner, Charlotte North.
Charlotte North probably, you know, I can imagine these 2-pointers are going to be going in a few times for her.
She's going to be an unbelievable player in this league.
No matter what, she is going to get her she's going to will herself there.
Miss North, I think she might take the gold. She has what it takes. It's been awesome to watch her, but I mean, watch out, Charlotte. I'm coming for you.
If Caroline Wakefield gets her way, Charlotte North won't be roaming around all over the goal-scoring sheet. Here at Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, we are at the half. A 6-3 advantage for Team Waters. On the Geico leaderboard up to the minute, Team Apuzzo, all dressed in orange, all of them occupying the top spots from 1 through 14. Joe Beninati and Courtney Martinez Connor with you. Court's a 5-time national champion at Maryland. And I got to ask you, so who's your favorite heading into this season 2?
Oh, gosh.
No pressure.
There's so many of them. I think rookie-wise, obviously you have to talk about Ali Mastriani, Charlotte North. Goalkeeper-wise, Taylor Marino, she's done a great job so far, but obviously she's a rookie as well. And then when you look at midfielders, Dempsey Arsenault, Amanda Johansson, Marie McCool, or McPool, as we said earlier when we were hoping to be in the pool.
McPartland combination, yes.
You know, I think it could go a lot of different ways, but then looking at Sam Apuzzo, even though she's an attacker and really only gets her points at that end, if she inserts herself at the draw more, as well as causing turnovers, which are just as good as goals, it's almost like she's a midi as well. So ultimately, I'm going to have to say Sam Apuzzo.
You're invited to watch it all play out this summer over the next 4 weeks. Season 2 of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Scotty Rose Growney, one of the impressive rookies, ripping home a 2. We'll share more highlights in a moment. A sun-kissed day in Baltimore, Maryland. We are not far from Charm City, about 20 miles north, and Sparks, Maryland at USA Lacrosse headquarters. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 2 unfolding. Game 4, it's the second one of this Saturday afternoon, and it's a 6-3 advantage for Team Waters at the halftime break. Time for us to take a peek at some of the first half highlights. Jamie Ortega, Courtney, we knew that she would be effective in this league, and she has not disappointed 2 games in.
Not at all. We see this pause turnover ground ball, speed by Kayla Wood, getting it into the hands of ever-capable Jamie Ortega right there. As she takes her defender low, she then swoops up over top, which is key. You want to have deception on the field. Do something different before you do what you actually want. As a lane is cleared by the first cutter inside, it allows this Jamie Ortega cut right there off the heels of teammate Sammy Jo Tracy.
Scotty Rose Growney is getting acclimated quickly. She seems like she'll be a very good outside shooter.
You saw all the defensive players. They were well inside of that 8-meter key. Too much space to give somebody like Scotty Rose Growney an opportunity to shoot that ball. And on the flip side, the 2-point, nobody stepping out on her hands, so she took a risk, and it was fruitful.
6-3 in favor of Team Waters after 20 minutes. They have the shots advantage, shots on goal as well in this contest with 20 minutes to go in regulation. Stay right there with us. We'll get you back after this TV timeout. Quarter number 3 to come before the fans at USA Lacrosse headquarters. You need the sun hat for sure. You need some shade after 20 minutes. It's a 6-3 advantage for Team Waters. Team Waters has taken both individual quarters, so all 14 players on the roster have earned 40 points to their leaderboard totals. On the Athletes Unlimited Club, we provide benefits, including voting on the league decisions if you're part of the Unlimited Club, interactions with players, signed items, much more. For a limited time, you can join as an MVP level member. You'll receive an exclusive Unlimited Club Lacrosse t-shirt. For more info, or you can join today by going to auprosports.com. As we get set for the start of the third quarter, Marie McCool and her friends with Team Waters have the advantage, and thanks to Marie, we can go into the game.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yep. Oh, I'm with you. Yeah, I have two.
I have 2. I have 3. Amber, I have 3. I mean, that is the biggest flop ever. I'm sorry. No, so you're me and I'm you. Like, you know how you just passed it to me? Now I'm passing it to you, you're passing it to Kenzie, and then you're holding there for the 2. So you and Courtney. Yes! Let's go! Let's go! That did look serious. We're kidding. We love each other. It's a joke.
Plenty of instruction and good-natured fun from Marie McCool as she gets ready for the third quarter to begin with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN. The teams are breaking the huddles. Katie Glynn is marching her way back to her goal circle. Katie, I'm hoping you can hear me. What did you say to your mates at the half?
Yes, I can hear you. You know, it's just a whole new half, 0-0. We're ready to go. We're reset, and we're just having fun and good vibes on Team Blue.
Katie, when you look at this game, some keys that you guys are going to need to do on the field, what's the biggest one?
The biggest one is to play together as a team. That's what we've been really harping on today. It's hot, so we want to do it together, having each other's backs.
Katie, best wishes for the remainder of the game. Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
And stop smacking that post so loud. Sound effects courtesy of Katie Glynn in the cage. 6-3 for Team Waters. They are in gold. We are at USA Lacrosse headquarters, just past the top of the hour now. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor with you. It's the second game of the day. Earlier, Team Apuzzo blasted Team Britt Reed. There were 4 different multi-goal scorers for Team Apuzzo in that one. Captain had the last couple of goals on the board. She and her mates are sitting pretty, 2-0 going into a game tomorrow. These 2 teams on the field right now, Team Waters in gold, Team Glynn in blue, looking for their first win of the young season. Kenzie Kent turns the corner, inside roll on Kayla Wood. Not enough room there. The flip to Scotty Rose Growney, who had a couple of goals in the first half. McCool has been quieted down by Mastriani. On the flip, Kenzie Kent lost her balance there, given a nudge by Cookie Carr. As the shot clock comes to its end, there's a 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited as Palermo sprints to safety. We play 10-on-10, 6-on-6 at the offensive end.
You know, every time that's done, defenses rewarded their entire team with an extra 2 points. On the flip side, that's a -2 for the entire Waters team in gold.
Glynn and Waters, respective netminders, respective captains. Part of being a champion in Athletes Unlimited is being able to lead and assemble these unique teams. These squads will break apart via a captain's draft on Monday. Top 4 point producers on the leaderboard overall when play is finalized tomorrow. The top 4 on the leaderboard will be the new captains for next week. McCone feeds, shot clock's at 12. Majorana flicks, McMahon going to the goal. Hit the inside of the post. Izzy Mcmahon had a layup and it rattled around and out.
Excellent defense by Team Waters. Yet again, they're electing to stay in their zone defense. It's making it very difficult for Glynn's team. As we watch, we're going to have a good look at this shot hitting the inside of the post right here, right back out. Ultimately, Waters was able to come up with that ball, which is what you want to do on the defensive end, not give second and third opportunities to your attack.
Kaylee Waters, tremendous athlete. Played soccer, tackle football, hoops, swimming, diving. Her parents were ACC divers. Cappy and Artie. Kenzie Kent in control of the ball with 12 seconds to shoot on the flip. McPartland marked on the outside by McCone. This pass is too tall for Scotty Rose Growney. That's a turnover. That'll hurt. That's a -8 to the player who coughed it up.
You know, Kelly's such a good dodger. McPartland wearing number 6 for the gold team. You're often able to get better space when you look to attack the cage as well as to feed, as opposed to one over the other. Being that dual threat makes it very hard to defend.
Would you admit to having any suspicions when you played, Courtney?
Suspicions?
Yes. Not suspicions, maybe superstitions.
No. As a coach, major superstitions.
Major superstitions, huh?
As a player, no.
All right, just checking. Snapshot score. The reason I ask, Ortega has a hat trick. McPartland had to have Alex Ost-Holman do her hair before every game. That was one of her superstitions.
You know, the hair, it's a big thing in lacrosse. You want to have an awesome hairstyle, whether it's a bunch of braids, and having a teammate do it, all the better. Jamie Ortega, again, nice tight handles to the inside. Running through the defense, super important.
No one in the history of North Carolina women's lacrosse has scored more goals than Jamie Ortega. She's going to be dynamite in Athletes Unlimited. Katie Glynn knows so. (6-4) for Team Waters with 6:15 remaining in the third quarter. It's the second game of 2 this afternoon. Another doubleheader tomorrow on ESPN+. We're getting you set for Sunday Night Baseball. It's a good matchup. The Padres and the NL East leading Mets. They're finishing up a 3-game series at Citi Field. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Coverage beginning at 6 Eastern with baseball tonight. Sunday night countdown. Joe Musgrove and Carlos Carrasco expected on the bump. Joe Beninati teaming up with Courtney Martinez-Connor. And Courtney, I'm not sure if people know, and if they don't, they're about to find out. You're the daughter of a Major League Baseball pitcher, Felix Tippy Martinez. If I'm not mistaken, Tippy, World Series champ with the Orioles in the 80s. We were talking with Dad the other day about the pitching techniques, the way the transfer of weight involved in pitching a baseball, maybe running akin to throwing a lacrosse ball.
That's right. You involve your whole body. You know, he referenced Charlotte North. She really gets her legs, torso, and then that follow through that she has. Everything involved, much like you see pitchers doing nowadays. And the more you get involved, the more power you have. And there's a lot of similarities. You know, young players, when we talk about following through, because that's something that they struggle with as an attacker. We reference baseball because you follow through to the opposite side of your body to get more power.
Sure, hoping that Tippy and Carol are watching the game today, the entire family et al., as we get set for the resumption of play in the third quarter. Still a boatload of time left in this one in regulation, with Team Waters in gold on top by 2. In terms of the individual quarter, which is only 3:45 old, Ortega, the lone scorer on the board for Team Glynn.
Truly a reset. You know, when I asked her, what did you guys talk about? How are you going to come back in this game? Just resetting, refocusing, acting like it's 0-0, clean slate, and they've already scored the first one.
Inside the draw circle with Marie McCool set there. Liz Brush, the official, getting the draw specialists in line. Draw controls are worth 2 points. Add 2 more to Marie McCool's list. Play 6-on-6 at the offensive end. That's Ella Simpkins offering the ball up to Grace Griffin, 2 times a first-team All-Big Ten performer with the Maryland Terrapins.
People are probably wondering why Marie McCool just didn't take off with the ball in her stick. She uses a draw stick, just like many of the draw takers in Athletes Unlimited do. It's definitely a different type of hold, something she did not want to shoot with.
Here she comes, getting downhill here. Glynn shut off the short side. Katie Glynn with a 6-point save for herself. Sends it on to Kayla Wood. Wood will clear. Kayla had better than 1,500 points last year on the leaderboard.
As you look at this save, that's Tar Heel against Tar Heel. Marie McCool, low angle. Katie Glynn all over that one. She's such a presence in the cage, very relaxed.
Hallie Majorana switching it for McMahon. Team Glynn a chance to tie with a 2-point effort here. If you shoot and score beyond that 8-meter key, Mastriani doesn't mind pulling the trigger from that range. Offers to Majorana, who had a hat trick on opening night. McMahon for Vanthoff, off the hitch. Mastriani lets it go, and that's a routine save for Kaylee Waters from deep. Waters, a season ago, the runner-up to Athletes Unlimited champion Taylor Cummings. Due to personal scheduling conflicts, Taylor is not playing in the 2022 Athletes Unlimited season. Kenzie Kent will circle it up with Fortunato. Almost 6 minutes clear in the third. Kent hawked there by Carr. Great lift check by Cookie Carr. Pause turnover for Carr. Ball down for Van Thoff. And away comes Kira Pelton. Kira, who played collegiately at Stanford, loves those weekends rollerblading in Golden Gate Park. Mastriani playing the two-person game with McMahon. She'll fire. Whoa! That rocket catching Waters up high. A hard-earned 6 points for Kaylee there. That was a buzz bomb from the outside.
And such a quick release. Izzy Mcmahon, very powerful player. She likes working out in the gym, lifting weights, super strong, but the ability of her to get the ball out of her stick and catch the defense, and usually the goalkeeper off guard, but at that time, Kaylee Waters was all over it.
A few years ago, Izzy said her max on the bench press was 150. Would squat over 200 pounds for 10 reps. Ost Holman will feed. Switch it. Bring it on around for Watson. Sydney off the roll dodge, lost her balance there and the ball in one fell swoop. It's Huff going the other way. Huff looking to run into a fast break. Van Thoff, keep it hot. McMahon lets it fly, and Waters is at the end of the line with a save. Wakefield comes up with the scoop. We said this from the outset of season 2. The goalies in Athletes Unlimited are extraordinary. Waters with another big stop. We saw Taylor Marino really perform well earlier today with Team Mapuza.
That's right. When you look at Team Glynn right now, shot selection is so important to get back into this game, but they are playing with a player who's on the sideline, so that's one less sub. Sammy Jo Tracy is out the rest of this game after her 2 yellows.
Bounce shot that was snagged there. Good stop by Katie Glynn. Outset from Carr to McCone. She's decked by Amber McKenzie, number 1 in the gold. Amber, a 2-time captain, 4-time All-American during her collegiate days at North Carolina, class of 09. With a whistle and stoppage in play, we're stuck at 6-4 on the board. The last goal scorer, Jamie Ortega, with her third of the day, the lone score in this third. Sunday, we have Premier Lacrosse League action for you. PLL, Cannons and Archers, 2 Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Followed by Chrome and Water Dogs coming up. Both of those games on ESPN2 and ESPN, coming from Fairfield, Connecticut. Lyle Thompson, Courtney, when you watch Lyle Thompson handle a ball, it is magnificent, the skills that he has, the ability he has to avoid defenders. Incredible. He'll do so for the Cannons tomorrow.
You know, I was excited to be able to potentially watch him play in the World Games with the Haudenosaunee. However, he was nursing an injury, resting before getting back to his PLL season. But, you know, it's a creators game. We're just lucky that they were willing to share this beautiful game with all of us.
Enjoying the festivities in Sparks, Maryland, a 6-4 lead for Team Waters in the gold. Folks, don't miss your chance to be here with us. All the excitement of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse from USA Lacrosse headquarters. Tickets are available today. You need to head to auprosports.com/tickets. You can join those folks who are wisely hiding from the sun on a day when the temperatures have roared once again well into the 90s, and we're expecting that again tomorrow. Tomorrow, Waters, her side, will square off with Team Mapuzo at 3:30. That's on ESPN+. Team Glynn faces Team Reed tomorrow at 1. Court once again referencing Sammy Jo Tracy, who has assessed those 2 yellows for those dangerous shots.
That's right, and she's a goal scorer for Team Glynn, so it's tough to be without her, but also an extra set of legs, as there's not that many subs in Athletes Unlimited. These players are in great shape, but it is incredibly hot out here.
Rosters at 14, 56 players total in residence. We'll have a Monday night draft. You can check it out on YouTube. The top 4 on the leaderboard as of tomorrow will be the new captains. McMahon trying to roll away from Wakefield. Caroline's always in good position. Taking the ball there from Mastriani. There's a whistle on the perimeter. Mastriani fidgets inside. Score! Allie Mastriani.
We saw Ella Simpkins for Team Waters do a little duck inside. She did not want to be taking another shot off the goggles. Allie Mastriani, as soon as this foul was assessed, she started quickly. That little hesitation step, she took off, paused for a second, freezing that defense, and then challenged again. Nobody's stopping her with body, so she's going to continue to run through sticks, which is exactly what she should be doing in that instance, giving herself a better look in tight and on goal.
National Midfielder of the Year this past season with North Carolina as the celebration continues on the sideline. Mastriani was a unanimous All-American in 2021. She goes right back to the draw circle. She has 4 goals on the season. When you score, you earn 12 points on the individual leaderboard. In a duel with McCool for draw control, Marie has it. Marie McCool looking to give up the ball. Again, as Courtney mentioned, she takes the draws with a special stick that she doesn't necessarily feel comfortable with playing offensively. She'll trade that off and get back into the 6-on-6. Uh-oh, a pass for Fortunato. Gets away. This is a turnover to Team Glynn, a chance to tie or take the lead. With respect to those quarter points, Team Glynn has the only 2 goals in this third quarter. Everybody on their roster would get 20 if that story remains the same. This is going to be a green card offside. You have to have 4 back on the defensive side in Athletes Unlimited. Patty Kletcher-Porter bouncing a player from the field.
So this is huge. Team Glynn is not only going to have the last opportunity to score if they take care of the ball, but more importantly, they're going to have a 6v5. That's a better look at the cage as they are a player up.
20 ticks left. Shot clock turned off. McCone sightseeing outside the 8-meter key with McMahon. McCone from the angle. Move it to Majorana. Nice stick there from McKenzie, intercepting the pass. Bring it on back, closing in. Fanning on the shot was Mastriani. As the third quarter comes to its end, Kenzie Kent with one final fling. It's 6-5 Waters after 3, but Team Glynn gets the 20 points for the 2 goals in quarter 3. Tight contest with 10 minutes to go in regulation. We'll have you back to USA Lacrosse headquarters in just a few moments. Thank heavens for a bit of breeze here in Sparks, Maryland. We're about to start the 4th quarter. It's 6-5 in favor of Team Waters. But with respect to the individual quarter points, Team Glynn with a bounce back, winning the third, 2 points to none, to take 20 points for everybody on the roster. X Games SoCal information coming your way tonight, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ESPN and the app. The world's best action sports athletes competing in the Monster Energy Skateboard Megapark, BMX Street, and Courtney Martinez, Connor's favorite Moto X quarter pipe high air. Every event streaming live on ESPN Plus and available at X Games on YouTube. Lauren Gilbert and friends looking on after their work is done today. The aspiration assist of the game. Nice setup here from Grace Griffin.
Quick ball movement, Kent to Griffin to Alex Ost-Holman inside. Can't forget that second last name, and I know that so well. Alex is such a great target. She knows when and where to cut, capitalizes quite often. Last year, Alex Ost. Year 2, Alex Ost-Holman.
Yeah, this is a great initiative for the league with respect to aspiration assists. Every assist this year, aspiration is going to plant 10 trees. Before the day began, we were well over 200 trees that have been committed to, so we thank Aspiration for its support. There are plenty of players who will be table setters in this season. That total will mount very, very quickly. Katie Glynn marching back to her goal circle. Her team trailing by 1 before we start the 4th. Into the game with Captain Glynn.
go, Kayla. Yes, Blue! There it is, Blue, there it is! Center, ready, top left!
Great look there from goal cam court, how the eyes of the goalie, the eyes, the thumb, all driving to the lacrosse ball on its way to make that save. And Katie Glynn, one of the very best in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse in that regard. She and Britt Reed were right there when it came to total saves a season ago. So the final 10 minutes, it's stop time in Athletes Unlimited. Should we go past regulation? There will be sudden victory overtime. There's the potential of a shootout, but we are a long ways from that. With Waters in gold, Glynn in blue, and Team Waters on top by 1.
Both of these teams obviously looking for their first win of Athletes Unlimited. They're going to share the ball quite well as they are looking to extend and continue this goal run. They already have 2 back-to-back from quarter 3. And just like Katie had mentioned, they want to share the ball. They want to work with one another.
McMahon drops it over the top. Mastriani handcuffed Huff there with that pass. 13 seconds to shoot. There's a 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited. Huff outside the 8-meter key, buzzed one wide on Kaylee Waters. The backup closest to the ball on a shot where and when it leaves the field. That means it'll stay with Majorana, but with the shot clock expiring, this goes now to Kaylee Waters in goal.
You know, smart by Hallie right there. The fact that she didn't even want to bring the ball into play, it would have just been a shot clock violation. Might as well have the opponent start at the goal line extended.
Scotty Rose Growney picked up a couple of assists in her pro debut back on Thursday. She's got a couple of goals today. One of those including a 2. The 2-point marker from behind the 8-meter key can change the complexion of a game rather quickly. McCool wants the flip for Kent, likewise to Griffin. Off the split dodge, Grace gets the cross back in her left hand. Scotty Rose Growney looking for Fortunato inside. She'll choose McCool from the angle. Shot clock's at 10. Fortunato, who played collegiately at Notre Dame, sweeps across the top, pulls the trigger, and had that one speared by Katie Glynn.
This entire game, goalkeepers have been on fire. Katie Glynn, Kaylee Waters, both of them the respective captains for their team. That's why it's such a low-scoring game at this point.
Bottom of the screen, you just saw Glynn has 8 saves today. Give her 6 points for each of those, so 48 individual points on the leaderboard column for Katie Glynn. Majorana back behind the net, giving the traffic instructions. She'll leave this in the cross of Huff. Bring it up top. 2-point attempt there from McCone. Snared by Waters. Trying to catch Kaylee napping there was Lindsay McCone. Cooper will wander back. 2019 ACC Freshman of the Year. With the orange. This is scooped back to McCone. McCone, in her second season of Athletes Unlimited, she's been a real great leader to the other former Wildcats, the newcomers coming to Athletes Unlimited from the Chicagoland area. Players like Gilbert and Palermo and Girardi. Three and a half down in the fourth. Low scoring, tight game, 6-5. McMahon. Majorana. Then Vanthoff fires and scores! Taylor Vanthoff ties it at 6.
First points for Taylor Vanthoff in season 2 of Athletes Unlimited. Number 18 in blue. She has the range. She's tall, she's lanky, she can generate some power. As soon as Hallie Majorana got the ball into her stick, she got that stick back quickly. You see her pull it back, trigger, shot. And defense was just a little bit slow in their movements. Excellent job of her being aware and ready of her surroundings to tie this game up at 6s.
Taylor Vanthoff mentioned her sister Taryn. Taylor is 6 years younger than Taryn. Vanthof on the board. We remind you, for every assist during this year's Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse season, Aspiration planting 10 trees. As we were heading into play today, over 200 have been committed to this season. It's far more than that now with the assists in the doubleheader this afternoon. We thank Aspiration for all of its support. One more doubleheader in the opening weekend of this second season in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Team Glynn gets Team Reed tomorrow at 1 on ESPN+. Team Waters against Team Apuzzo. That one comes your way 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Waters' squad has the upper hand when it comes to draw control today, but right now they're playing defense around their captain keeper. Huff maneuvers for Vanthof. Mastriani can be a force when she chooses to go to goal. Kelsey Huff getting Ortega involved. Jamie has a hat trick this afternoon. Izzy Mcmahon darting inside the key, and she sends that one high and wide. Majorana on the backup. Hallie, who was injured in week 3 last year, had a rib injury, put an end to her first season. Makes a good look there. Huff fires and scores! Kelsey Huff gives Team Glynn its first lead of the day.
This all started with Hallie Majorana having such good vision on the field. Her eyes are always up. That nice little hesitation, that fake little pass. 2 defensive players were at her. We see right here Amber Falcone as well as Grace Griffin. That long ball across the top, and then she didn't just shoot it. We saw Kelsey Huff, as soon as she received, she created that little hesitation, carried it more towards the middle of the field. And then right here, that release. We see that wonderful angle from inside of the goal cage. First time, I believe, since the very first goal of the game, Team Glynn now in the lead.
Ortega started the scoring. You're right, it made it 1-zip. First lead since then, couple goals in less than a minute. It's 7-6 down the stretch with 5 minutes and change to play in the fourth. Kelsey Huff, 2 times a 40-plus goal scorer during her days with the women of Troy at USC. Mastriani will goose this ahead for McCone. She'll run for some cover. And now, Team Glynn in blue looks to pick up on the lead. Great shovel. Ortega, one more. Majorana! She scores! Lightning in a bottle for Team Glynn.
Excellent passing on the field after the battle for the draw control. Team Glynn coming up with it. Lindsay McCone dishing it off to Ali Mastriani, who took a lot of speed right here. That nice little shovel pass to Ortega, to Hallie Majorana. Excellent job. Quarter 4, Team Glynn coming back with the W.
Team Glynn has the 8-6 advantage. Last 4 points on the board. 5 points on the board now belonging to Katie Glynn's side as they get some refreshments in the final half of the fourth quarter. In control now, and the question is, how many draw control possessions can you get to keep things on your side of the scoreboard? We remind you, it's a new season. There's a new look. There's a whole bunch of new merch to be had. Be sure to check out all of the brand new Athletes Unlimited items. For that merchandise, go to shop.auprosports.com to purchase yours today. Lacrosse faithful looking on, pensive and pondering for the last 5 minutes of regulation time in a game that has swung in favor of Team Katie Glynn. The 5-0 run since the third quarter has established Glynn as the front runners.
That's right. Going into half, Waters' team was winning by a score of 6-3. And the last 5 goals have all been Team Glynn. We talked with her about halftime. She said they just needed to start playing as a team, sharing the ball, and that's exactly what we are seeing out here, especially on that last goal.
Team Waters has gone over 17 minutes without a goal. In the fourth quarter, Van Thopp with the first of 3 straight for Team Glynn.
Showing her range, and then we have Ali Mastriani kind of powering through the defense. So tough, physical, and dominant on the field.
Mastriani, things developed so quickly. Bang, bang, tic-tac-toe, Majorana on the stuff. That makes it 8-6 with 4:56 to go in the fourth.
You know what I think is even more impressive about Team Glynn coming back into this game is they have been without one of their stellar attackers who received 2 yellows all within the first half. So they have 1 less sub, yet they are managing to have that extra little pep in their step.
Sammy Jo Tracy has not been able to help her mates since having those 2 yellows assessed. There she is, hands on hips on the sideline. Sydney Watson is inside the draw circle for Team Waters. Mastriani there for Team Glynn. Earlier today, Team Apuzzo, Sam Apuzzo, very effective in downing Team Britt Reed. The orange-clad Apuzzo squad, the highest scoring team in the first couple of days of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. This is game 4 of 24. Joe Beninati and Courtney Martinez-Connor with you down the stretch in this tight one. The game that has swung suddenly in Glynn's favor. Marie McCool would like to turn the tables quickly. She's going right to the cage with Kenzie Kent. 6-on-6 at this end of the field. 10-on-10 in Athletes Unlimited. There is a 60-second shot clock. Grace Griffin wheeling in against Kayla Wood. Wood's footwork defensively is always impeccable. You see how things develop in front of Glynn from this end zone angle. Watson takes the handoff. McCone there to get in her path. Ball down. Ostholman scooped it, but it came up in possession of Kelsey Huff.
That's going to be a cause turnover for Team Glynn, as well as a ground ball pickup, battling to get that ball, and then the all-important turnover that unfortunately was awarded to Team Waters.
Lindsay McCone has it. Sharing the rock with Kelsey Huff. Mastriani and Ortega. Ortega, one of the key contributors today for Team Glynn. She had 3 of her side's first 4 markers on the board. McMahon, Mastriani, and around against the zone D. Mastriani on top of that 8-meter key. Score from beyond it. They'll give you 2 points for the team, 16 for your individual tally. Mastriani has that kind of range. Ortega, snap past Majorana. Backside looking for McMahon. That goes away, and this is a shot clock violation against Team Glynn. But every time they go through those 60-second cycles, it's less time for Team Waters in goal to rally.
That's right. At this point, they want to make as many stops as they can, because all it takes is a 2-pointer, and this would be back to tie game for both Waters and Glynn. So a defensive stop, super important. Every moment counts. This is offside here. It's going to be a 30-second green. Caroline Wakefield will jog to the sideline. Wakefield, great communicator. Likes to wear number 23 for another pretty great former Tar Heel, someone named Michael Jordan back in the day. Player up for Team Glynn, 23 seconds worth. Controlling the game by 2 points, so in no hurry to attack the net. Team Waters tomorrow against Team Apuzzo at 3:30. Team Glynn in the blue. They'll get Britt Reed's squad for a 1 p.m. tilt. McCone moves. Majorana tried to stuff it down. Waters made the save. It rattled off the frame, out of bounds. Whose ball? Good hustle from Waters. She earns possession. She gets points for that this season. That is worth a whole bunch. In fact, a change of possession awarded for the hustle. 12 for Kaylee. She comes up with another ground ball. Timeout has been called. Great job by Kaylee Waters, facilitator, who was also able to call timeouts, not just the captains. Christy Foote on that last one she saw her player, Kaylee Waters, in trouble, helped her out with a timeout.
8-6 at the moment. Team Glynn on top. Marie McCool has been wearing a microphone for us today. Let's go into the game with number 4.
Yeah, Grace, come. Grace, come. No, up. Come on. That was great offense down there. Yeah, and our offense is good. Courtney got a good shot on it. You again.
All throughout the sweltering heat today, Marie McCool running at full speed, trying to get her team back level with Team Glynn. 8-6 at the moment in the midst of a lengthy, and I mean lengthy, drought. Team Waters has not scored in this half. No goals in the third, no points in the fourth. And when it's with respect to the net minding, Katie Glynn has put up a force field. She's the Geico defensive plays of the game expert, with her stops in the goal circle.
Katie Glynn talked about things she wanted to do better this season. Patience, holding her line, and we are seeing that absolutely. Her eyes are locked. She is laser focused. She's staying big in cage, which is culminating in a lot of saves.
Positionally, she plays a lot different than Britt Reed, right? Britt Reed is out challenging on a high arc. Katie plays on a very flat, low arc.
That's right. She's in tight in that goal circle.
Marie McCool sprints ahead. Let's see what the strategy is. Less than 2 minutes to play. There is a 2-point goal in Athletes Unlimited. Scotty Rose Growney has one today. She's tiptoeing around the arc, 16 in the goal. Finds Kenzie Kent, lurking back behind the net. Cat and mouse with Cookie Carr. Kenzie Kent got hit up high. She was hoping for a foul. We haven't seen any, to my recollection, free position shots. We have seen McPartland nail the top corner. Kelly McPartland makes this a 1-goal game.
All Team Waters needed to do was break the seal, as we see this nice little flip pass from Kenzie Kent, coming right off of her heels, getting a step on that defensive player. You want a little bit of miscommunication right there. We saw the hesitation defensively by Kelsey Huff, thinking that she and Cookie Carr were going to switch. Kelly McPartland doing a great job of getting that shot off on the run.
Katie says, stick, don't fail me now. McPartland's third tally on the season. Running around in that familiar number 6. She wore number 38 last year in Athletes Unlimited. Big draw coming up. Team Waters sending Sydney Watson out there. Ali Mastriani, 21 in the blue for Team Glynn. Who comes up with possession in the final 91 seconds of a 1-goal game? Quarter points on the line, 20 for the team that wins the quarter. Right now, that would be Glynn. 45 points if you win the game overall, as McCool gets flattened by McComb. 80 seconds remaining. Marie McCool and Scotty Rose Growney on this side of the field with McPartland. Griffin plays straight away. You see the difference at the bottom of the screen. 48 seconds on the shot clock, 1:08 in the game. Kenzie Kent off and running. Slides this for McCool. Mastriani keeping tabs. Cycle it on around. Griffin threw that into traffic. Great catch by McPartland. That shot was altered over top. 45 seconds left. 25 on the shot clock. Snapshot there from Scotty Rose Growney, answered by Katie Glynn. That may shut the door. Katie Glynn's squad on top by 1 point. Shot clock turned off. The team in blue can play keep away with it. There's a timeout called with 28.7 to go. Katie Glynn protecting the 1-goal advantage. If you're dressed in blue, what are your assignments now?
You want to spread the field as big as possible. The ball is already over the midfield line. You want to make sure to hold on to it. You don't want to turn it over, take a shot that could potentially be saved. They have enough time. They can run out the clock, so I expect for them to do that. No shots needed.
Flip the equation. I'm going to guess that Kaylee Waters is going to be out there. They're going to put a lot of pressure on, try and create some 2-on-1s to force a double team and a turnover.
That's right. You want to get out pressure, not just on the ball handler, adjacents, everyone at this stage. It's all hands on deck. And I do expect for Kaylee to get out and play some defense as well on anyone close to that goal circle.
You and I were both involved with the World Lacrosse Women's World Championships. And in that tournament, the United States used a very aggressive 10-person ride. Their goalies, Liz Hogan and Kaylee Waters, were comfortable chasing down other players. So this is not going to be foreign to Kaylee Waters to get out there and cover an attacker.
No, she's athletic. She's quick. She knows when to hop in goal if need be. But again, I don't think that Team Glynn will be taking a shot on goal. If it's wide open, it'll be tempting.
Unless you are 100% sure, right?
That's right.
You don't want to miss and have no backup in this instance. 28.7 to go. The second game of 2 today. Earlier, Team Apuzzo took down Team Britt Reed by a comfortable 7-point margin. So Team Apuzzo goes into tomorrow's matchup with Team Waters unbeaten. These two teams, Glynn and Waters, looking for their first win. Center screen there, impressive rookie, Lauren Gilbert, who's been having some fun. Down the alleyway comes Ortega. Chased by McCool and Kent. There's the double. Ball down. Foul. Card coming out. Player up should just about seal the deal for Team Glynn in blue. Kenzie Kent sent off for the yellow in the final 20 seconds of regulation time. All that's left now for Team Glynn, protecting the 1-point advantage, is to run to daylight. Ortega doing just that. Little game of keep away with Kelsey Huff. Final 8 seconds. McCone badgered by Simpkins. Lost it out of bounds there. 3 seconds left. Wakefield needs to heave-ho about 80 yards, but there's not enough time for that. It's over. Off the bench to celebrate, Team Glynn, a come from behind 8-7 win.
Tremendous comeback win for Team Glynn after being down by 3 goals in the first half. Almost blanking Team Waters. A player who was not on the field with them. They dug deep and clinched their first win of Season 2 of Athletes Unlimited.
That's a whole lot of hard work, bringing home the 45 points for the ultimate victory. They picked up the 20 points in the third quarter, took the 20 points in the fourth quarter. That's that double whammy, and all of a sudden, the ladies in the blue jerseys will climb on the leaderboard as a result. Team Glynn victorious 8-7 over Team Waters. Stay right there. Courtney and I have some more work to do on the other side of the break. Big win for Captain Glynn and the gals in blue.
Hands in, left hands in. 5 minutes. Here we go. Blue on 3. We're doing this together. 1, 2, 3. Blue. Let's go. Let's go. That was awesome.
Come from behind victory for Team Katie Glynn today with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor with you in the aftermath of that victory. Getting set to talk with the captain, Katie Glynn. And Katie, at one point late in that second quarter, your team was down 6-3. What happened from then?
You know, we brought it in and we were like, we got to do this together. We got to fight together. And, you know, that was a huge team win for us. It was just so fun.
Katie, I heard you say left hands in that huddle. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so left hands in, I'm going to give a shout out to Lindsay Rombach, my other assistant at University of Richmond, who I coach with. She does the left hands in because there's a vein in your left hand that's closest to your heart. So
Really?
Yeah.
We're getting that detailed now,
Oh,
Katie.
we're getting that detailed.
I understand. Now, when your defense in front of you and you collectively shut out a team for better than almost 20 minutes in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, that's quite an achievement. What was the key on defense?
You know, it was just lockdown defense. We started out this game, we were like, we're going to do this together, we're going to do this as a unit, and just having the slides there, the hedges there to help each other, and, you know, shut them out. It was awesome.
Obviously, Katie, you went down by a player throughout a lot of that game. How were you guys able to handle one less sub on the field?
You know, just that heart and hustle and grit. And Sammy Joe was awesome on the sidelines cheering us on and giving that energy and, you know, just doing it together.
Katie, I'm looking forward to tomorrow, another doubleheader. You guys are busy all the time on the weekends in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Yep. Tomorrow you get Britt Reed. Can you explain something to us? The old goalie in me is very interested in watching you and Waters and Reed work. You play very shallow, very low in your goal circle. Britt is the exact opposite. Give us the advantages. Give us the pluses and minuses with those two different approaches.
You know, I always say goalies are snowflakes. Everyone's different and plays a different style. Britt likes a more aggressive style and playing her angles, and I like to just sit back, see the ball, make the save, you know.
Katie, well done. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Katie Glynn giving us her insights in the aftermath of a big win. Jamie Ortega was one of the reasons why. Courtney, she was excellent early in the game.
She was. She scored that very first goal to begin the game. That's one of her signature little split moves right there. And then as the game progressed, she got more comfortable. She didn't have any points in the first match on Thursday, but as she gets fluid with this style of game, it's faster, there's more space that you can work with offensively. It's proving that she sees the lanes that she has, and there are a lot of spots where she can catch the ball, cut, and finish with. And Jamie Ortega, outstanding game two.
Jamie Ortega is with us right now. Jamie, we know that you're an incredibly talented offensive player. What is it about Athletes Unlimited that should mesh so well with your game?
Yeah, I think it's just a lot faster pace and playing with amazing attackers who I haven't played with before and learning each other's tendencies, but it also helps having, you know, one less attacker and defender out there, but having more space, and I love how fast it is. It's intense, it's competitive, but also it's really a lot of fun, and you know, that's why you play lacrosse, to have fun, and that's my biggest goal, you know, for this season, just to enjoy any game that I have to play in.
Jamie, to end the game, the ball was in your stick with the double team. How did that come to be?
Yeah, so Cookie asked who wanted it, and I was like, yeah, I'll take it. I mean, even though my feet were fried and I couldn't really feel them, but I was confident in myself, and also having my teammates be like, yeah, you got it, just made me more confident that I can do it. And definitely seeing Kenzie and Marie out there against me, I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be really hard. And they're such amazing players, and I was just trying to make it by for the 28 seconds we had, and I was definitely just feeding off of the confidence that other people had in me, and they definitely got me back out there. There's one time I'm like, okay, I need a passer who's open. Kind of tired out there.
Jamie, well done. Go cool off. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Winning team today, Team Glynn. For Courtney Martinez, Connor, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati, thanks for your time. Don't forget to join us tomorrow over on ESPN+. It's another set of doubleheader action beginning at 1 Eastern Time. If you haven't had enough lacrosse, here comes more. Folks, we're sending you straight now to Premier League lacrosse action with a PLL.